Students, we learned the story The Lost Spring. In the previous paragraphs, we have seen the pitiable condition of the poor rag pickers in Simapuri. The story continues, page number 16, first paragraph. I sometimes find a rupee, even a 10 rupee note, Sahib says, his eyes lighting up. When you can find a silver coin in a heap of garbage, you don't stop scrounging for there is hope for finding more. It seems that for children, garbage has a meaning different from what it means to their parents. For the children, it's wrapped in wonder. For the elders, it's a means of survival. The writer says that Sahib is happy to say that sometimes he finds a rupee and even a 10 rupee note in the dump. And he says there that whenever he gets a coin, he does not stop searching for the second one. That's a human tendency that he keeps on searching, hoping to find more. For the children, the garbage dump is a means of fulfilling their dreams. And for the parents, it's a means of survival because it provides the basic food, cloth, and shelter. Another paragraph. One winter morning, I see Sahib standing by the fence gate of the neighborhood club, watching two young men dressed in white playing tennis. I like the game, he hums, content to watch it standing behind the fence. I go inside when no one is around, he admits. The gatekeeper lets me use the swing. One winter morning, the writer sees Sahib standing by the fence of a club, and Sahib is watching a tennis game being played by two young men. Sahib tells her that he likes the game, but he cannot play it. And he says, the writer, that he goes inside the club when it would be closed. And one more thing is that he is allowed to take the swing by the guards. Next paragraph. Sahib too is wearing tennis shoes that look strange over his discolored shirt and shorts. Someone gave them to me, he says in the manner of an explanation. The fact that they are discarded shoes of some rich boy who perhaps refused to wear them because of a hole in one of them does not bother him. For one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true. But the game he is watching so intently is out of his reach. The writer sees that Sahib is also wearing tennis shoes, but they does not look appropriate with his dress. He tells the writer in an attempt to justify himself that someone gives me these shoes. She, however, figures that he has got them from a garbage dump. There is no other chance to get it. They must have been thrown away by a boy from a rich family, as he does not want to wear them anymore. Probably they have a hole or two in them, due to which he does not want to wear them. She guesses that there is some damages. On the contrary, Sahib is not bothered by this fact and has no problem wearing them, as he cannot afford anything better than that. He walks barefoot, and to wear a shoe even with a hole is like a dream for him. Although due to the garbage dump, Sahib's dream of wearing shoes has been partially fulfilled, but his desire to play tennis would never be fulfilled. Next paragraph. This morning, Sahib is on his way to the milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister. I now work in a tea stall down the road, he says, pointing in the distance. I am paid 800 rupees at all my meals. Does he like the job? I ask. His face, I see, has lost the carefree look. The steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry. Again, in the morning, the writer meets Sahib, who is on his way to the milk booth. He is holding a steel container. He tells her that he has got a job at the nearby tea stall. He would earn 800 rupees a month and get meals too. The writer asks him if he likes the job, as she can see that he has lost the carefree look. As now Sahib is working for someone else and is carrying his master's container. It's a burden with the responsibility. Earlier, as a rack picker, Sahib would carry his own bag and was his own master. Now he is no longer his own master. That's the end of the first part. We will see the second part, that's the story of a bangle maker, in the next class. Thank you.